Whoa! Whoa! Yeah, I'm sorry. I know the Crash Bandicoot whoa meme is like totally dead, but it will forever live on in my heart, no matter how annoying that gets for those around me. Anyway, hello. Today a package arrived for me and I thought it would be fun to unbox it here on my channel because the content of this package is something that I like to talk about a lot. That is right, camera equipment. So please join me here on this little journey where we're gonna see what's inside, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna just have a good old time. So, fairly standard packaging here. Oh, this is nice, paper. Yeah, that's good. That's good quality paper. It's got a good scent to it, kind of smells like the Amazon warehouse. Sorry, I'm doing the thing I hate in unboxing videos where they talk about everything other than the main thing you want to see. And that, ladies and gentlemen, whoa, is a new sexy lens. Oh yeah, baby. What have you got, PJ? Let's have a look. I have ordered the Sigma 20mm 1.4 and I thought it might be fun to do a little first impressions kind of thing. I've been looking at this for a little while. This is very exciting. Okay, so comes with a lens, which is good. I would have been worried if it hadn't. And then some papers, but you don't care about the papers. You just want to see the lens. The box, no one cares. The lens! Okay, the lens, all right. Jeez, that is quite heavy, quite hefty, I must say. Comes in a nice little Sigma bag here. We'll talk about the specs of the lens more in a minute. We'll first do the first impressions. First impressions are, Jesus Christ, my wrist is gonna break. That is, get out of here. That is rather heavy. Oh. You are free from your plastic packaging. There she is. What a beastie beast of a lens. Oh, I'm not kidding, that is very heavy. So, what's the lens, what does it do, and why did I get it? I will answer all of those questions. It's a 20mm prime lens, which means it's fixed at 20mm, doesn't zoom in or out, and the aperture is 1.4, which means it's wide and fast. What does wide and fast mean? So if you know me and my general style of filmmaking, then you may have observed that I like shooting stuff super wide. Forever Train was shot entirely on a wide lens. Most of the Oscars Hotel pilot was shot on a wide lens. And to be honest, most of my more filmy film videos are shot on a wide lens. Stylistically, of the tone of stories that I like to tell, I think the distortion gives it a kind of cool dream-like feel, which is what I'm going for. So I use the wideness to my advantages in that sense. Anyway, the lens, it's 20mm, which means it's wide. But this is pretty hefty for a prime lens, especially such a wide one, right? Well, that is because Sigma have somehow done something that nobody else has done. It's the first and only one like this. It is super wide and the aperture opens up to 1.4, which lets a lot of light in, which basically means this is going to be a little beast in low lighting. We'll do a little test in just a minute. How heavy exactly is this thing? Let's have a look. Okay, so the lens weighs in at, Jesus Christ, 996 grams. That is the equivalent of 35 ounces or just over 2 pounds. So it's pretty heavy compared to the one I usually use. Let's do a little switch around, which weighs in at roughly 672 grams, which is fairly light, not too bad, but you can really feel the difference. Oh man. Like I said, this is just a first impressions video. My first impression is, holy hot dogs, that is heavy. I knew it was gonna be heavy, so I'm not too surprised, just a bit surprised. So I told you what it is, I told you what it does, and I told you why I wanted it. So let's just have a look at it. All right. Let's put this bad boy on the Sony a7S Mark II. It's a Sigma lens with a Canon thread, a Metabones adapter on a Sony camera. Yep. Okay, see how bulbous the glass is on the end. Just look at that. And the lens hood, that's fixed on. That doesn't come off. So it's pretty big, it's pretty beefy, it's heavier than the camera, so you can feel it weighing down your wrists a little bit. But let's see how it looks. Okay, we're switching from the 70D with a random Sigma lens on it to the Sony with this new Sigma lens on it. BRB. Well, slap me on the butt and call me Sally. That's a very pretty looking lens, I must say so. So I think I need to show you the camera whilst you're seeing what it's doing. Hang on, this will make sense in a second. I've got the old 5D Mark II here, and all of this equipment I've just accumulated over the many years of just making stuff. So the Sony camera I'm filming on right now really isn't that far away from me at all. It's like if that's there, and I'm here. I don't know how well this is translating on this camera. Essentially what I'm trying to convey is that this camera is quite close to me, but at 20mm, it's pretty wide. It's almost as wide as the 16mm that I've got right here. But the aperture is so fast on this lens. I mean, I'll show you what it means. All right, thanks 5D, you're done. What it means, or at least what I hope it means, or I'm gonna feel a bit foolish, is if I turn off this light up here, and this one, and my computer, if I just start turning off all the sources of light one by one, and the main lights. Okay, so we're pretty much in the dark right here. Okay, so there we go. So the lighting right now is pretty damn minimal. Just to show you quickly. Oh man. So it's super dark on this camera. So at the 2.8 fixed aperture, the 5D is even gonna struggle to show you this. So I've got a little lamp up there that's not even pointed directly at me, it's just pointing at the ceiling. And then behind me, a little baby Philips hue that I've made orange. And that's all the light in this room right now. And in the hallway right now, it's super dark. So what this all essentially means is that this Sigma lens is filling a very niche purpose in my collection of lenses that the others don't really do. I have this Canon lens. This is 1.4 aperture like the Sigma, so it lets in a lot of light. However, it's 50mm, which means it's nowhere near as wide as this lens. If I wanted to sit here and talk on this lens, I'd have to put the camera further back than the wall would even allow me to go. I mean, I'll show you right now, in fact. So I've not moved the camera at all, and I've also not moved my sitting position. I'm not even ducking down. This is how I was sitting with the previous lens on. So this lens, although it's letting in a lot of light, isn't ideal for this kind of situation. Let's switch back to the other one. I've kind of lost my train of thought, and my thoughts have just kind of been all over the place. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm looking forward to shooting some cool stuff on this lens. Like I said, none of my other lenses do what this does, so it does fill a very niche gap. But what I love is that it presents me with a very specific set of limitations. This is what I call a very silly test. There are literally no lights on in this room other than the fairy lights behind me. Very silly thing to do. You wouldn't light a scene only using fairy lights, but it does show it opens up even more possibilities. And for example, let's just take a little light like this, just bounce it off the ceiling and see what it does. Okay, we're gonna have to bring the ISO way down. Wow, okay, so that's a pretty rough lighting job, but it doesn't look too bad considering I've got fairy lights and just this. So that's it, that's all I'm doing right now. I've just got a little light here, bouncing it off the corner of the room, and it looks pretty decent. And then without, okay, well that's too dark. But if you have a look, that's only at ISO 160. You know, if we turn that up back to what it was before. I mean, it's by no means perfect, but that's at ISO 1600 and just the fairy lights. Okay, end of silly test. I think I'll do another video where I properly just show off what it can do. I'm excited to shoot some cool stuff on it. Also, the white balance for this video has just been all over the place because I haven't had a chance to properly find the best settings for this right now. So excuse the fact that I look very orange right now. Nice. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.